The Bajorans watched in horror as footage showed the human soldier ripping through their troops like wet tissue paper, each kill making his savage grin widen, realizing they had grossly underestimated the deadly potential of this strange new species. Izar's cybernetic implants zoomed and enhanced, analyzing the precision of the human's rifle shots and the impossible speed of his movements, his fear growing with every frame. "This is unacceptable," Izar growled to the Bajoran High Council, slamming his metal fist on the conference table. "We cannot allow this depraved species to infect our galaxy. They are far too dangerous. If we do not stop them now, we may not get another chance." The council members shifted uneasily, some nodding in agreement while others looked hesitant. "What do you propose, Commander Izar?" one asked. "Quarantine their planet, cut them off from the rest of the galaxy before it's too late. If any of their ships attempt to break the blockade, destroy them," Izar said coldly. Deep in the heart of a secretive Earth military base, Captain Aaron Mason seethed with rage as news of the alien blockade spread. He clenched his jaw until it hurt, remembering the captive humans he had seen in Bajoran slave camps during the rescue mission. The same humans these Bajorans were now threatening to trap on Earth. "Screw this," he muttered, an idea starting to form. Negotiations were getting nowhere. Aaron would have to take matters into his own hands, like he always did. The soldier began assembling an elite Black Ops team and searching for weak points in the Bajoran blockade, a plan coming together in his mind. He would punch through that alien line and take this fight right to the Bajoran leadership. Then they would see how dangerous humans could really be. Aaron knew this unsanctioned mission would be seen as an act of war. But if that's what it took to free humanity from this alien cage, to ensure their rightful place among the stars, so be it. The Bajorans would soon learn to regret the day they tried to leash the human race. Aaron and his elite strike team slipped through the shadows of Bajoran space, their stolen alien freighter blending seamlessly into the local traffic. Jack Riker, their roguish human contact, greeted them with a crooked smile as they docked at a remote outpost. "Welcome to the party," Riker quipped, tossing them a stack of forged Bajoran identity documents and uniforms. "Izar and his goons are holed up in a secret base not far from here. I'll upload the coordinates to your nav system." Aaron nodded, his face a mask of stubborn persistence as he and his team donned the alien garb. They were so close now. Just one more push, and they could end this blockade, free humanity from its cage. As they approached the Bajoran compound, a voice crackled over the comm. "Unidentified vessel. Transmit clearance codes immediately." Aaron motioned to his comm specialist, who jammed the signal and fired a volley of plasma torpedoes. The freighter shuddered as it plowed through the exploding defense towers, touching down hard near the base's perimeter. The humans charged out, pulse rifles blazing, their power armor absorbing the brunt of the Bajorans' return fire. Aaron led the charge, a force of nature as he carved a path of destruction through the outer defenses, alien bodies piled high in their wake. Inside the compound, alarms screeched as Izar barked orders for an immediate evacuation. The High Council scrambled aboard his personal shuttle, engines roaring to life. Aaron burst onto the launch pad just as the ship lifted off, jets of flame scorching the ground. With a roar, he leaped and caught hold of the landing gear, clambering up into the cargo bay amidst a hail of blaster fire. The soldier stormed the cockpit, pulse rifle leveled at Izar's head. "Order your fleet to stand down, now!" Izar met his gaze defiantly. "It's too late, human. The ships run on automated systems. They'll open fire on any human vessel attempting to leave Sol. Council orders be damned. You've already lost." Suddenly, proximity alarms blared. "Boss, we've got incoming!" Riker's voice crackled over the comm. "Bajoran reinforcements, closing fast!" Aaron's lips pursed. Out of time and options, he slammed his rifle butt into Izar's head, knocking the alien out cold. His hands flew across the unfamiliar controls, wrenching the shuttle into a stomach-churning dive. "Riker, I need a path out of here." "On it, boss. We'll run interference, punch a hole through their perimeter. Just stay on my tail and pray that fancy armor of yours holds." Human combat shuttles fell in alongside Aaron as he pushed the engines to their limits. The small force rocketed towards the distant blue marble of Earth, weaving and rolling as the Bajoran fleet opened fire. Klaxons screamed as the shuttle shuddered under the onslaught, shields straining. Aaron gritted his teeth, fingers flying as he synced the shuttle's systems with the virus Riker had provided. Almost there, just a few more seconds. With a final, desperate keystroke, the virus uploaded. The Bajoran fleet fell silent, weapons and defenses paralyzed. Riker let out a whoop of triumph as they streaked past the drifting alien ships, Izar's shuttle still intact. They had done it. They had bought Earth a fighting chance. But even as Aaron stood over a restrained Izar in an Earth cell, he couldn't shake the sense that this was a long way to go. That instinct was proven true a moment later as Izar's eyes snapped open, glowing an eerie red. The Bajoran's body convulsed and then fell still, all traces of memory and personality erased. Across the stars, a signal pulsed out from Izar's neural implant, carrying a dire warning to the Bajoran homeworld. Ancient war spheres shuddered to life, charting a course for the distant human infestation. The battle was won, but the war was just beginning. Aaron and his team touched down on Earth, their shuttle's hull still smoking from the harrowing escape. As they disembarked, a crowd of military brass awaited them, faces grim. Aaron strode forward, datapad in hand. "Sirs, we have critical intel. The Bajorans are coming in force." The next hours passed in a blur of briefings and strategy sessions. Radar screens lit up as massive Bajoran war spheres entered the outer Sol system. Alarms blared across Earth as the military scrambled to action. Admiral Grayson pulled Aaron aside. "Mason, I need your team for a vital mission. We're calling it Operation Shockwave." Grayson laid out the plan. Aaron nodded, wheels already turning. "I'll need the best of the best, sir." Aaron spent the next day hand-picking his squad. He tapped Sarah Chen, demolitions expert; Marcus Ortiz, zero-G combat specialist; Raj Patel, master hacker. A dozen more elite operatives joined the roster. They trained nonstop, pushing their new-powered armor to the limits. In the simulator, they practiced EVA maneuvers between rotating objects. They drilled breaching actions until they could do it in their sleep. As the Bajoran armada closed in, Aaron's team boarded their stealth shuttle. The experimental drive hummed to life, cloaking them from sensors. They slipped past the outer Bajoran patrols undetected. Aaron's pulse quickened as they penetrated deeper into enemy formation. Massive war spheres loomed on all sides. "Fire Team Alpha, go," Aaron whispered. Sarah and Raj ignited their thruster packs, jetting towards the nearest sphere. More teams followed, leapfrogging between hulls. Aaron's boots magnetized to the alien hull. He cut through with a plasma torch, his team filing in behind. They moved swiftly through dim corridors. A Bajoran warrior rounded the corner. Aaron's rifle cracked, downing the alien before it could raise the alarm. They pressed on. At the reactor core, Sarah planted the antimatter mine with practiced ease. "Charge set. 10 minutes. This scene played out across 5 more capital ships before alarms finally blared. Aaron's comm crackled. "Boss, they made us! Ortiz is hit!" "Fall back to extract point," Aaron ordered. They fought a running battle back to the shuttle. Energy bolts sizzled past. Aaron dove through the airlock as Marcus laid down covering fire. The shuttle rocketed away, alarms screaming as Bajoran weapons found their mark. Aaron gritted his teeth, fingers flying across the detonator. A string of silent explosions bloomed behind them. War sphere after war sphere went dark as chain reactions tore through their innards. Aaron sagged in his chair as they limped towards the rendezvous point. His remaining team tended wounds and checked gear. They'd pulled it off, but at a cost. Admiral Grayson's face appeared on the display. "Outstanding work, but this fight's far from finished. Rest up. We're taking the battle to them." Aaron nodded grimly. One battle won, but the war for humanity's survival was just beginning. Aaron's muscles ached as he stood at attention in Admiral Grayson's war room. The victory over Sol still felt fresh, but there was no time to rest on their laurels. We've got Izar cornered, Grayson said, his weathered face grim. Intel puts him on Umbaran. It's a hellhole, but if we can grab him, we might just end this war. Aaron nodded, already running through tactical scenarios in his head. What's the plan, sir? Grayson pulled up a holo map of Umbaran's surface. Small team, in and out. You'll have to go in dark. Their orbital defenses are too thick for a full assault. I know just the people for the job, Aaron said. Over the next week, Aaron drilled his hand-picked squad relentlessly. Lee Walsh, a mountain of a man, hefted his massive rotary cannon with ease during their live fire exercises. Yuri Romanov ghosted through the simulated Bajoran defenses, leaving practice targets neutralized in his wake. When the day finally came, Aaron's team loaded into their stealth shuttle with practiced efficiency. The flight to Umbaran passed in tense silence, each man lost in his own thoughts. They touched down on Umbaran's surface under the cover of darkness. As soon as the ramp lowered, scorching wind and stinging sand assaulted them. Aaron signaled, and they moved out in formation, their armored environment suits barely keeping the hostile elements at bay. Hours passed as they trudged through the wasteland. Sweat poured down Aaron's face inside his helmet as he scanned the horizon for threats. Suddenly, Yuri's hand shot up in the universal signal to halt. Aaron froze, following Yuri's gaze. There, almost invisible against the dunes, he spotted the telltale shimmer of Bajoran camo tech. Ambush, Yuri whispered over the comm. Aaron's mind raced. They couldn't afford to be detected this close to the objective. He signaled to Walsh, who nodded grimly and brought his cannon to bear. In a heartbeat, all hell broke loose. Walsh's weapon roared to life, stitching a line of fire across the hidden Bajoran position. Aaron and the others opened up a second later, their weapons on full auto. The firefight was brief, but intense. When the sand settled, a dozen Bajoran corpses lay scattered across the dunes. Aaron's team collected what intel they could from the bodies and pressed on. They reached Izar's fortress as the first hints of dawn crept over the horizon. Using the codes they'd pulled from the patrol, they slipped inside through a concealed maintenance hatch. The moment they breached the inner corridors, alarms blared. Bajoran troops poured in from all sides, filling the air with plasma fire. Aaron's team fought tooth and nail, inching their way deeper into the compound. By the time they reached the central chamber, Aaron's squad was bloodied and depleted. They burst through the final set of blast doors to find Izar waiting, flanked by his personal guard. Predictable, the Bajoran sneered. Did you really think we wouldn't be ready for you? Aaron didn't waste breath on a reply. He charged, smashing into the first guard with bone-crushing force. Around him, his team engaged in a brutal close-quarters brawl. Izar proved a formidable opponent, his cybernetic enhancements giving him inhuman speed and strength. Aaron's armor cracked under the alien's blows, warnings flashing across his HUD. In desperation, Aaron feinted left, then drove his armored fist into Izar's midsection with all his remaining strength. The Bajoran commander crumpled, stunned. "Cuff him," Aaron barked. "We're Oscar Mike!" They dragged their unconscious prize back to the shuttle, fighting a running retreat the entire way. As they broke atmosphere, Aaron allowed himself a moment of victory. That feeling was short-lived. Days later, aboard the orbital prison where Izar was being held, Aaron received a priority comm from Grayson. "It's not over," the Admiral said, his face haggard. "The Bajorans are doubling down. We're getting reports of uprisings being crushed on multiple worlds." Aaron's fists clenched. "What do you need me to do, sir?" Grayson's eyes were steel. "One last mission, Captain. We're taking the fight to their doorstep. I need you to hit their central command. Shut it down or blow it to hell, whatever it takes to end this." Aaron nodded, already planning. "Consider it done, sir." Aaron's fingers flew across the holographic display, studying the limited intel on Praxis and Katrakan. Sweat beaded on his brow as he absorbed every scrap of information. "What do we got?" Sarah asked, leaning over his shoulder. "Not much," Aaron grunted. "Orbital defenses, patrol patterns, basic city layout, but the subterranean network? Minimal data at best." He zoomed in on a 3D render of Katrakan's sprawling metropolis. We'll be going in blind once we hit the underground. The captured Bajoran freighter hummed around them as Aaron's team made final preparations. Weapons were cleaned, armor checked and rechecked. The air crackled with nervous energy. Listen up, Aaron addressed his squad. We've got one shot at this. Stick to the plan. If it goes sideways, improvise. But remember, we either take that command nexus or we blow it to hell. Failure is not an option. Nods of grim acknowledgement met his words. These were Earth's finest, ready to lay down their lives if necessary. The freighter slipped past Praxis's outer defenses without incident, Aaron's pulse quickening as they neared their target. Shuttles prepped. Move out. No sooner had they launched towards the planet's surface than alarms split the air. Aaron's grip tightened on his harness as anti-aircraft fire erupted around them. Evasive maneuvers, he barked. The pilot's hands danced across the controls, the shuttle jinking and weaving through a hail of energy blasts. A near miss rocked the craft violently. Aaron gritted his teeth as the shuttle plummeted towards Ketrakan, the city's spires rushing up to meet them. Prepare for combat drop. The shuttle's bay doors slid open, revealing the chaos below. Fires raged where their decoy had impacted. Aaron took a deep breath, then hurled himself into the maelstrom. Wind howled past his helmet as he plummeted, the grav harness slowing his descent. All around, his team scattered to predetermined landing zones amidst the burning cityscape. Aaron's boots slammed into cracked pavement. He rolled, coming up with his rifle at the ready. Plasma bolts sizzled past as Bajoran defenders opened fire. Push forward, Aaron roared over the comm. Find those access points. Block by blood-soaked block, they fought their way through Katrakan's streets. Aaron's armor was scored and dented, his muscles screaming as he vaulted over burning debris. A Bajoran guardian loomed before him, energy blade humming. Aaron ducked under a vicious slash, then drove his combat knife up under the alien's faceplate. The guardian fell with a gurgle. Access point located. Raj's voice crackled over the comm. Northwest quadrant. Aaron sprinted towards the coordinates, his remaining squad members converging. They breached the hidden entrance, plunging into the darkness below. The subterranean passages were a maze of twisting corridors and ambush points. Aaron lost count of the firefights as they pushed deeper, always seeking the elusive command nexus. Hours blurred together in a haze of gunfire and close-quarters combat. Aaron's team dwindled as they took casualties, but still they pressed on. Finally, they stumbled upon the sprawling nexus. Aaron's eyes widened at the sight of the pulsing energy core at its heart. Plant the charges, he ordered. We'll try to seize control first. But, as Raj attempted to hack the system, an impenetrable firewall rebuffed every effort. The Bajoran leadership's voices rang out, defiant to the last. You've failed, humans. We'll never surrender. Aaron's mind focused. Do it. The detonation rocked the entire underground complex. Aaron was thrown off his feet as antimatter annihilated everything around them. Through blurred vision, he saw the command center consumed in searing light. Somehow he dragged himself and what remained of his team to the surface. They emerged into a hellscape of fire and ruin, Katrakan laid waste by their daring plan. As a blood-red sun sank below the horizon, Aaron gazed out over the devastation. They had won, but at a terrible cost, and in his heart, he knew this conflict was just the beginning.
You have reached the end of the story. If you enjoyed this story and want to support us, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel, and for every comment that says 88, I will heart every single one of them. Thank you for your time.